fighting you, and the score was actually tied, but then it looked like Derek just sort of imposed his will.
Yeah, Derek said he was going to play. They did a good job. They were physical. I think they probably watched the St. John's tape and figured if St. John's could get away with it, they could get away with it. And Derek's but when Derek gets tired of getting fouled, he just separates people. He's a difference, and then having somebody like Sean who can make shots really helps as well. Taz is starting to be the player that we thought we recruited, and I thought Knapp played well. Deuce made every shot in the walkthrough we had this morning. Couldn't make one in the game, and then made some big plays on the run. So it was a good team win.
Derek said he feels like sometimes he needs you to yell at him to get him going. Would that be part of your pregame routine with him?
It doesn't work in pregame, but if you all knew how far he's come, he's come a long, long way, and he continues to get better. We just got to get him to slow down a little bit. He catches it at the foul line and makes that jump shot that makes him even harder to guard.
Coach, have any issues with Jermaine at all? Didn't play tonight?
No, it's just coach's decision.
Bob, further on Taz, a couple of players said he looked like in practice he's starting to get there. Have you seen that coming from him?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of them, it takes them a while to understand how hard you have to play at this level. College basketball, and particularly college basketball at the level that we play it here, is you've got to really work, and it's I keep trying to explain to our guys that you can't have a loose end. You can't have a guy who every time is a pressure release. So you got 4 guys out there trying to deny the ball, trying to do a great job and help, and one guy who's standing in the lane letting his man catch it every time and relieve pressure. Going ball screen and really not have any help. We've got to get that fixed.
Are you still doing practice with the deflated ball?
We didn't do, no, not. We only had one day, so we spent more time trying to get ready for Nicholls than we did for really on ourselves. Kind of showed.
The coach would get Mackey in when you did.
Yeah, it's that was I thought one of my better moves. Get him in to shoot the technical.
You saw him at a tournament or something, or at a...
No, it's a long story, but I did the whole time I was at Cincinnati. Our games were covered by Fox, the Fox affiliate in Cincinnati, and I did my coach's show there, and so I was in and out of there. And his mother is the anchor. She's the anchor. So and she's ate up with basketball. She had her own team. She kept trying to get me to play on her team, and she kept saying, "Well, the football coach is playing." I said, "Well, the football coaches don't have as much to do, so they can do this kind of things." But and anyway, so she coaches. She has a girls AAU program and a guys AAU program. She coaches both of them. I don't know how she does it with her work schedule, but she does it. So I was in Louisville and saw her, and she started telling me about her son, and she said, he averaged 38 and 18. I said, what? She said he averaged 38 and 18, and nobody will give him a scholarship. I said, well, he can walk on with us. It's pretty much that simple.
Seems like all the guys on the team are like really.
Seems like
cheer-
the whole student body likes him.
What do you think a moment like that meant for him to have?
He didn't seem too rattled by it, really. I think the guys were more excited really than he was. He said, Bob, if you're going to do a little piece on him, he said that the girls in high school called him Smack Daddy. Smack Daddy.
You know, I didn't know till I just talked to him. I worked for 10 years with his grandfather, the inkware.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he was our chief desk guy, and
Huh.
we tipped a couple of dollars.
That's hard for me to imagine that you guys would do that. You didn't go to Tina's or anything, did you?
Bob, the spacing between games, I mean, it happens this time every year with finals, but good thing, bad thing, is it sort of hard to get normal practices during this next week?
Well, I'm a little concerned about playing Youngstown on Saturday, and then they leave for Christmas break, and then you come back and play Ohio State, and we've got to really. And I told them in there, I mean, get ready because we're going to have to run, this week, because the last thing you want to do is go into the Ohio State game, out of shape, and which could very easily happen if we don't run them quite a bit. You like that. You like to really give them a couple of days off. We're going to give them a day off, obviously, but I'd like to give them a little bit more. I'd like to have a little bit more time off, but I think we're going to have to get in there and run and do a lot of transition stuff to stay in shape. Scrimmage maybe even a little bit.
It's probably going to become more commonplace as transfers do, but was it unusual seeing a guy who had been here come in with a different team?
Oh, D'Angelo? No. I mean, D'Angelo's a good guy. I enjoyed D'Angelo. I don't think it was. He wasn't. We've got pretty much a whole new team. I don't think our guys don't know D'Angelo. Coaches did, but not the players.
Coach, you see that, Derek and Oscar both get double-doubles in the same game for the first time, and do you think they're kind of starting to figure out the spacing and
I would have said yes until Derek made a great pass from the high post and Oscar didn't know that was coming. That was a great pass, and they're getting better. I mean, we're all getting better. We don't see people enough, and that's because pretty much our guards are new.
Are you seeing some tunnel vision with passing too? Like guys will be so concentrating on throwing in the post, like you're emphasizing, they're missing things on the perimeter, or vice versa?
Well, I tried to explain it to them this way. It's kind of like being a quarterback. You have your first look, who's supposed to come open first, and then if they don't come open, then who comes open second, and then if you got if you're trying to throw it inside and they're overloading that side, where the guy's going to be that you skip it to on the other side. Yeah, and then it's some guys just don't see. I mean, it's not they don't want to. They've kind of got tunnel vision.
I think we're seeing new skill sets from Sean every game. Today we saw a block. I mean, is he been showing you consistent defensive play in practice too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's getting better and better.
The game in Youngstown, what do you think that's going to mean for Derek?
I don't know. Yeah, probably ought to ask Derek then. He played high school in Warren. He didn't play high school in Youngstown, but he's a Youngstown guy. He grew up in Youngstown, so I'm sure he'll have a lot of family members and neighborhood guys around.
Back to Taz for a second. What's the next step you want to see in his progression?
Well, he's got to pass it better. He's a willing passer. He's just got to he's got to figure out where people are coming open, and I think that's one. And he's getting better defensively, but he's got a ways to go defensively. But he's starting to understand. He's starting to. He seemingly kind of likes it. So, you put him and Sean on the floor at the same time. They've got to guard him. That opens up things a lot for Derek and Oscar.
Bob, what are your thoughts on Sean's play on the block shot?
I didn't know he had it in him.
You didn't know, okay.
I just asked his dad. I said, "He get that from you?" And he said, "Every inch." He said, "Only mine was that high." That's what his dad said. He's got a chance to be a really, really good player. He's an interesting story. He didn't get recruited. I mean, he went to Bellarmine. They recruited him, and then didn't fit in, whatever. And so he sat out a year, basically. Went to school, but he didn't play, and then played a year in Dayton, at junior college. And at the end, got recruited by a whole bunch of people.
Anything else?
Well, kind of a weird schedule thing. You don't play a home game for about a month after this. How much different do you think that everybody and everything can look? Only a handful of games in between now and then, but some important opponents and a lot of practice time. I would think in between. Looks like the next time these people see this team could be different.
Well, we asked for a little relief from the league for a lot of reasons. In the age of trying to help the student athlete, it sure doesn't help us to go out there 9 times. And so we asked if we could, have a 2-game swing when school wasn't in session. And they granted that for us. But you ask for a 2-game swing and you do it when school's in session. It doesn't help the cause any, taking guys out of class. So they were good about doing that. But I mean, it is what it is. The league's hard no matter who you're going to play. So we go knock a couple away games out, and it's hard.
That kind of a little bit of a hidden benefit though. You get 2 road games out of the way first, and now you've got 9 against 7 to go.
You can't understand until you do it. And those guys come in here and they're all bitching all the time about having to fly all the way to Morgantown. I mean, try to do it 9 times, boys. And it is hard. The university has done the best they can possibly do. I mean, we fly, we charter, we don't take those little ones where our guys are got their knees up around their eyeballs. We charter planes where they can spread out a little bit for the most part. But we heard all the, well, what do? You have to fly into Pittsburgh and drive to Morgantown. Well, you know what? You go to Iowa State, you got to fly into Des Moines and drive to Ames. You go to Oklahoma, you got to fly into Oklahoma City and drive about 35, 45 minutes. So all that stuff was, they didn't look at themselves and what people go through to get there. So, but I mean, I'm happy. I'm sure Shane's happy with, you know, the league trying to help us out. And I think the other thing is that we're not. I believe I'm right on this, that like Kansas and who we play, Miss? Oklahoma State, both play on the road on the days that we play on the road. You know, the difference is the start times, and I don't know how this is ever going to work if you you name your start time basically with this new ESPN Plus deal. You name your start time. Well, now you got a problem with hotels. The hotels are all calling now. When are you guys checking out? Hell, we don't know when we're playing. We're talking about checking out. We don't know when we're playing yet. And those are real problems that I don't think anybody's ever thought about. Well, I mean, why would you? Who would think about that? But those are issues that they're going to have to work through. The league's going to have to work through. You know, I mean, we could be kicked out of the hotel, you know, sitting out there on the curb. So it's not. You know, it's bad enough waiting for start times from ESPN. But now we're waiting on what time the Chiefs playoff game is.
Thanks, Coach.